Sprezzatura. Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at SprezzaBox, which is a monthly subscription box for men's accessories. So I got two to show you today. This is my first order from them, and really excited to kind of show you what's all inside. So a little bit about SprezzaBox. So they've been around, actually they just celebrated their 5th year anniversary at the time of this filming, so haven't been around for too long, but they're definitely kind of one of the leaders of subscription boxes focusing on accessories. There's a few others out there, but today we're going to be kind of focusing on them and seeing what kind of fun stuff they have. So why an accessories subscription box? So, basically every month they take, expert stylists pick out 4 to 5 of their kind of top picks for that part of the year, time of the year, and they put it together in one box, and it just adds a lot of value in terms of, they all coordinate, they all match, right? So you're not trying to show up at a store trying to pick out, does this go with this? It's really about that convenience of having everything in one place and being able to just kind of throw it all together, throw it on, mix and match with what you already have, and kind of have fun. And it's really kind of about the entertainment value too, right? It's a surprise, kind of don't know exactly what you're going to get each month, and so there's a lot of just entertainment value there. So, at the time of this filming, they're $28 per box per month. There are cheaper plans if you kind of subscribe for longer periods of time, but if you think about it, it's kind of like dinner and a movie. For the price of one of those, stay home, watch some Netflix originals, and you've pretty much paid for your SprezzaBox for the month. So let's dive in and take a look at what exactly was in each of the 2 boxes I received, and just kind of talk about kind of what my thoughts are in each of those boxes and the items they contained. First of all, let's start with the Henry. They've included this nice card that has a list of kind of all the things that were contained inside. The other thing I like about this card is it basically gives you some styling tips on how to actually wear each of the items. So it's not just, hey, here you go, here's a bunch of stuff, figure out how to use it. They actually take the next step and really make sure that you're going to get the most use out of it, and teach you basically what is correct in terms of the best way or creative ways to actually use each item. So, so that's another kind of nice piece that comes along with the included card. First of all, I'm actually wearing one of the items from the Henry, and that is a necktie from Nautica. Usually espresso boxes do include ties, and pros and cons around that. I'm not in a situation where I need to wear a tie every day to the office. So, I think some folks have commented like, hey, do we really need a tie in every box? But I know that there are those people that do wear ties every single day to the office, and so for them, getting a new tie a month at a reasonable price probably makes a lot of sense. So I think you just need to kind of evaluate. Again, I think this is a great looking tie. I think it looks super good, but do you need a tie every month? Is it something where you just kind of want to refresh the ties that you have? Mine were getting a little bit stale in terms of time, and so I think it's nice having that. Next is the tie clip that I'm wearing, and this is from Indochino. Just kind of some nice minimal stripes, not too much. We'll kind of go with pretty much anything you got. Love it. I think that was a great additional addition to the box. I'm also wearing these collar extenders, and you can see, if you look closely underneath here, basically this shirt fits a little tightly, and so what I wanted to do is have a little bit more breathing room around the neck. And so as you can see here, it shows how these work. So it goes around the button, and then just gives you a little bit of extra stretch room there, and then the kind of additional metal piece goes into the placket buttonhole on the other side. So nice little piece if you've got a dress shirt that that you really love, that's kind of a little bit tight around the neck. this is a nice little addition to make sure that if the rest of the shirt fits fine, you don't have to get rid of it. You can use one of these guys and get some extra life out of it. So I really like that. So next in the Henry box, we have some cufflinks by a company called Weekend Casual. So they came in a nice bag. And these guys, obviously, you need to have French cuff shirts. Don't have a ton of those, but if you are the kind of guy that has a lot of them, then these are going to be really nice. They seem pretty good quality. I do like the material and construction, and nautical is very big right now. Unfortunately, can't take advantage of it without having a lot of French cuff shirts lying around. Moving on, we have a flask from Elijah Craig. You know, I don't do a ton of flasking in my daily life, but I know that there are folks that do. It's fine. I mean, it's nothing kind of special to write home about. It is wrapped in kind of, I believe it's a faux leather, and you know, it will work, but there are probably nicer flasks out there, but they only say the retail value of this was about $8. So again, it's not kind of trying to be your be-all end-all flask. You know, more of like a promotional tie-in for Elijah Craig bourbon. And finally, the last thing to talk about in the Henry are these really nice socks. So this is from Sprezza's own brand, and they look very comfy. I do get kind of particular about socks and just kind of the fit and not being kind of too tight around my calves, but these definitely feel really soft. So they're 65% comb cotton, 24% polyester, 9% nylon, 2% spandex. So I think they will kind of hold up pretty nicely in the wash. And again, it kind of goes with the theme with the tie, kind of the yellow and the blue. And yeah, I just think that was another kind of nice piece. So overall, for my first SprezzaBox experience with the Henry, I'm pretty pleased. I thought that there was a ton of value. There's a ton of stuff inside that I would actually use and wear. Again, I'm not always dressing up, but it's really nice to have kind of some fresher items. And again, I thought the value was pretty good. So overall, I'm pretty excited about box number 1, which is called the Henry. So you also might be wondering, where does Sprezza come from? And it's actually from an Italian word, sprezzatura. I'm clearly not Italian or know how to, you know, fake an accent very well, but the idea is it's kind of a intentional studied carelessness. So it was originally focused on courtiers, right? So you had royal courts and you had kind of people that were influencing and campaigning for power, and they had a lot of ambition, but they couldn't appear to have too much ambition. They couldn't come across as being too power hungry, and so they had to make sort of difficult tasks look easy. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. And then it became translated into the world of style in the sense of, you know, looking like that look that you put together that, you know, took a long time to get all the accessories right and to get everything to kind of complement each other in very interesting and unique ways. The idea is that you kind of pull that off effortlessly, that you didn't really have to try that hard to make it happen. So that's kind of the idea behind SprezzaBox, and the name is basically they have done all the hard work to create a complete look that makes you look like, yeah, you really kind of put it together nicely, but at the same time, it just kind of came together. So that's the idea historically and behind that term, and kind of how it gets translated into the subscription box and what they're trying to offer. So next we're going to be looking at the second box I received as a part of my 2-for-1 sign-up deal, and that is called the Hillcrest, and that's actually from the June 2019 box. So let's take a look at this one now. I'm really super excited about this one. I really like the items I got in this one. I think I'm leaning more towards being more excited about this than the Henry, but let me tell you why. So first of all, I'm wearing actually a watch that kind of came with it. Came in a really nice little case here. So I love watches. Obviously, you know, my Apple Watch can sometimes limit the options I have in terms of wearing a watch, but yeah, I'm just super pleased with this guy. I think, you know, obviously it's not a high-end watch, but it looks pretty good as an accessory. So I was super stoked. I was hoping to get a watch in my first couple boxes because I had seen from some of the other boxes online that that was an option that some people got. So super excited to actually see that ending up in my box, which is really cool. So this box also contains some socks, and I need to really build out my sock game. I need to up the level for sure. And so for me, I was really excited to get more socks. Again, I think the nautical theme is very strong this summer, so it just kind of goes with everything else, right? It goes with the cufflinks from the Henry. It's just kind of, again, all those pieces play together, and I really like these. So same kind of material composition as the ones from the other box. So, you know, that kind of mostly cotton, but with some poly, some nylon, and some spandex with a little bit of stretch. They feel pretty substantial, and so I think they're going to kind of last a while. So that's item number 2. Item number 3, I'm actually wearing it. So this is a tie from the Sprezza brand itself. So as you can see here, Sprezza New York. So I like the tie. I think that it looks good. It's the right width to be modern. I do like polka dots. I don't have many red ties, and so I thought this was a nice piece. Again, kind of summery, 4th of July. So I did think that was nice. There is a little bit, I think, of QC just around this particular stitching. It came out a little bit, and there's kind of a little bit of a thread here, but not a big deal. I understand there's a lot that goes into the manufacturing. It's not going to take away at all from my enjoyment of the tie. So overall, I like this tie. So another popular item that you're going to see in SprezzaBox is kind of men's grooming personal care products, whether that's kind of consumable items like soap or shampoo or face lotion, or whether it's actual kind of products that are used as a part of the grooming process. And so in the Hillcrest, you have this little guy here by Razor MD. It's basically tweezers. So, you know, I can finally stop borrowing my wife's tweezers when I've got those annoying little hairs that need to come out. I now have my very own pair of tweezers. Now, you might already have this as a part of a complete grooming set, but for me, who again has just made do with what I've had, I think this was kind of a nice piece. This is actually something I'll use not every day, thankfully, but on a semi-regular basis, just to kind of keep everything nice and tidy. So yeah, so I do like the inclusion of this. So next we have a pocket square, and really nice thick material. It's from a brand called Ainsley and Troop. Pretty thick, so it's going to make kind of a really nice creases when you actually put it in your pocket. So really like the colors too. I think I like the gray. I like sort of the red and a little bit of a lighter, almost lavender gray. And then I think it goes really nicely with the socks. So, you know, I think they intentionally really tried to make a nice pairing between the two of these. So, so I really appreciate that. I think these are very complementary, and I could definitely see this coming together in a complete outfit. So overall, I really enjoyed the Hillcrest. I think this was a great box. Again, for $14, it was a great box. For $28, it would be a great box in my opinion. I think the value to me well exceeded that price point. So super stoked about this. The only downside, unfortunately, was I did not receive that nice card like that came with the Henry box that kind of explained each item and talked about how to style it and gave tips and just a little bit about a background of the company that was providing it. So again, just I'm sure it was just a mistake. I'm sure it was not intentional, but so I really enjoyed that card, and so just a little disappointed to find that it wasn't included. So now we'll take a look at what it looks like for each box to be styled. So taking the Henry, building out a complete outfit from that, and then doing the same with the Hillcrest just to see what it looks like in the real world. So what's my overall review of SprezzaBox? I really like it. I think for someone like myself who has kind of neglected the accessory side of my wardrobe, I think that this is a great way to build up a lot of fun stuff that you're going to use on a regular basis. I think if you are a fashion guy that just always kind of wants something new and fresh every month, I think this is a great place to go to for, expect ties, expect socks, expect kind of other kind of neat accessories. I've seen sunglasses, they're going to seasonally basically pick those things that are going to make most sense so that you kind of always feel like you've got something fresh and new. So I think that's a lot of the value that that SprezzaBox brings is, again, that sense of kind of fun and entertainment and the excitement of opening a new box each month and figuring out like, okay, how am I going to actually end up wearing this stuff and incorporating it? So I think it's really fun, and I think it's definitely worth an investment, at least to get started. So at least trying to find some of those deals out there that might talk about kind of the 2-for-1, if those are still available, and taking advantage of that. Extreme value in getting started. And then ongoing, I think the question will just be, does it get to a point where, okay, I've got enough ties, I've got enough socks. I don't think you can really have enough socks. I think for me personally, there could come a point where I have enough ties. But in terms of all the other kind of cool stuff, I think it's just fun. It's kind of a really cost-effective, convenient, efficient way to get some of those accessories that you're not going to go out to the store and kind of spend hours picking out the exact matching pieces that are going to kind of all come together. And then even if you do, kind of will the value far exceed in terms of what you spend, that kind of price point where SprezzaBox is at. So the question is SprezzaBox stuff Adam likes? And the answer is yes. I really enjoyed going through each box, having a lot of fun with thinking about kind of how can I use this, how can I use that. The value is there for sure. And again, I think just over time, you just have to weigh kind of, does there come a point where you have enough, or is it fun to continue to keep getting stuff each month for a minimal amount of cost? I think that's a decision you have to kind of come up with yourself, but for me, I definitely plan on subscribing for the near future to kind of see what fun stuff they have in store. So that's SprezzaBox, guys. Really appreciate your time today. If this was helpful, share it with a friend. Trying to get as many subscribers as I can to kind of hit that threshold of being able to have my own channel name and all these things. So it would really mean the world to me if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, if you hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a thing whenever new stuff's published. It would help me out a ton. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Go check out SprezzaBox, link in the description, and we'll see you soon.